Right now, somewhere, someone's scrolling through their partner's phone. Somebody's fuming over a text they weren't supposed to see. We've built entire legal systems and religious ceremonies around one idea. Just one person forever. Most of us figure that's simply how humans are wired. Ancient, natural, just the way things are. But history tells a different story. And honestly, it's a lot funnier than the one we tell ourselves. Who is Chad from the gym? The man demands, phone in hand, absolutely fuming. Now imagine dragging that same energy back 100,000 years. There's no phone. There's no gym. There's just Chad, standing right there by the fire, eating the mammoth ribs he brought back. Everyone can see him. There's nowhere to hide the evidence, because the evidence is sitting 6 feet away, chewing loudly. For most of human history, nobody even needed a word like cheating. Not because loyalty didn't matter. People cared a lot, sometimes violently so, but because the whole arrangement around sex and family looked nothing like what we know today. Picture the setup. You're in a group of maybe 30 or 40 people, walking together, camping together, close enough at night to hear each other's kids cough. No door to close. No room of your own. If something happened between you and someone else, the whole camp usually knew by morning, probably before breakfast, thanks to Auntie Uga, who never misses anything. SHH, nobody can see us here, one caveman whispers badly. Grog, his friend deadpans, there are 40 people. And a fire. And you're both wearing bells. That's basically what privacy looked like back then. Which is to say, it didn't. And yet, real bonds formed inside all that chaos. A man, a woman, one fire, kids curled up between them for warmth. That's actually pretty rare in biology. Most mammals don't pair up like this at all. We're one of the few species that even bothers. So people bonded. Genuinely. The real question was whether it lasted. Look at the Hadza in Tanzania, one of the last groups still living by hunting and gathering. Researchers who have spent time with them found that staying with one partner for life was unusual. Most people moved through several partnerships instead, settling down, raising a kid or two, drifting apart, then bonding again with someone new. Often it was the woman who called it off. She'd pack up, grab her kid, and move to the other side of camp to start fresh with someone else. Wait, you're leaving. The husband asks, stunned, watching her fold the blanket. Where are you even going? Other side of camp, she says, not even looking up. Ug's fire is bigger. Also, he doesn't chew with his mouth open. No drama, no scandal, no lawyers, just life. She walked 20 feet and started over. Loyalty still mattered, though. It just wasn't a promise you made once and forgot. It was something you had to keep earning, over and over, one hunt at a time. Getting a partner in the first place wasn't easy either. In many of these societies, a young man would move in with the woman's family and start hunting for them, bringing back meat, showing up, proving himself, sometimes for years, before anyone called it a real relationship. Just one rabbit. The father-in-law-to-be says flatly, staring at the offering. You've been coming here for 3 winters. It's a good rabbit, the young man offers weakly. Less a proposal, more the longest job interview in human history, with a probation period measured in years, not weeks. This is where the one man, one woman picture really starts to fall apart. An anthropologist named George Murdoch studied marriage customs across more than 1,000 societies worldwide. He found that in roughly 8 out of 10 of them, men were allowed more than one wife. Strict, lifelong monogamy wasn't the global norm. It was actually the exception. Even so, most men who technically could have more than one wife stuck with just one. Multiple partners were usually reserved for a small group. The best hunters, respected elders, men who could actually support more than one household. Honey, I'm home. The hopeless hunter announces, empty-handed again. No meat today. But I did see a really impressive bird. Meanwhile, across camp, the best hunter in the group is fielding marriage proposals like it's a job fair. Because that's exactly what it was. Being a good provider wasn't just a nice quality. It shaped who got to have a family at all. Among the Ache people in Paraguay, studies found that the best hunters fathered nearly twice as many children as everyone else. It had nothing to do with looks. It came down to one thing, what you could bring home. None of this made relationships peaceful, though. Often, it made them dangerous. Researchers Martin Dolly and Margot Wilson studied what actually drove people to kill each other in these small, close-knit groups. Jealousy kept showing up at the top of the list, a partner who'd strayed or was suspected of straying. With no walls and no locked doors, betrayal didn't stay hidden long. And people clearly didn't forgive it easily. I knew it, I knew, it. The jealous partner shouts, storming up on the pair by the riverbank. We were just discussing berries, the man stammers. You don't hold hands over berries, Thok, comes the icy reply. This wasn't a sitcom. It was survival, and it got ugly. But it wasn't some cold, transactional system either. Researchers Jankowiak and Fisher went searching for real romantic love across more than 100 cultures. Not just pair bonding for survival, but genuine longing, genuine heartbreak. They found it almost everywhere. Love songs, stories of couples running off together against their family's wishes. That specific ache of falling for someone. People have felt it for a long, long time. You didn't invent it. Neither does anyone alive today. So why didn't humans just pick one partner and settle down for good, forever, no exceptions? Because human babies are brutally hard to raise. Our brains got bigger, and the trade-off was babies born completely helpless, unable to walk, unable to feed themselves, unable to survive alone for years. In many ancient populations, close to half of all children never made it to adulthood. Raising one successfully usually took more than 2 people. It took a whole support system, more food, more eyes watching, more hands helping. Whose turn is it? Someone groans, bouncing a crying baby. Not mine, says an exhausted voice. I did sunrise. I did sunset, snaps another. A long pause. Grandma's turn. Raising a kid back then wasn't a 2-person job. It was a whole camp's problem. Some groups pushed that idea even further. The Bari people in Venezuela believed a baby could have more than one biological father, that every man a woman slept with during pregnancy contributed something to the child. So a pregnant woman taking a second partner wasn't shocking at all. Both men were simply treated as the child's fathers. He's got my nose, the first father says proudly, peering at the newborn. He's got my hunting instincts, the second insists. He's 3 days old, someone points out. Already looks like a natural, the second father says, unbothered. A researcher named Stephen Beckerman studied the outcomes. Kids with a second recognized father survived to adulthood more often than kids with only one. More fathers meant more food, more protection, better odds, and apparently more compliments about the baby's nose. So were ancient humans loyal to one partner? They bonded. That part's real, sometimes deeply, sometimes more than once, tangled up with real jealousy and real heartbreak. But one partner for an entire lifetime, no exceptions. That was never the rule. It stood out specifically because it almost never happened. Falling hard for one person, that instinct is old and it's yours. But the idea that it has to last forever, with 0 wandering eyes and 0 second chances. That part is a lot newer than most people think. So, the wife says, glancing at the phone still in his hand, Chad from the gym is basically just a guy with good mammoth ribs. Put the phone down, Brenda, he sighs.